What up, YouTube? We got a Ohmeezzy reaction today about a fresh and fit situation. Honestly, let's see.
When was the last time you had a girlfriend prior to Angie?
Not really.
Because
No.
you've never had a girlfriend in your life until you dated a foreign girl.
Not like a, yeah. But
Case f***ing closed.
no.
Case f***ing closed. You never had a girlfriend or a serious relationship until you met a foreigner.
Wait a minute. Run that back.
When was the last time you had a girlfriend prior to Angie?
Not really.
Because
No.
you've never had a girlfriend in your life.
I don't think I heard that right. I don't think I
Never had a girlfriend in your life.
Not really.
So, I don't care, right? Personally, if you ain't ever had a girlfriend before, like, it's fine, right? It take time for people to, build relationships and stuff. But in my mind, I would think that the dude who hates women and as bitterly as he did at least have one girlfriend. Like, in my mind, he was coming off like a horrible relationship. That's why he hated women so much. Damn, I didn't know he just never got with one. And that's perfectly fine. Like, especially his new girlfriend, right? I think she's like new in the picture. In my mind, for you to be able to give relationship advice, you have to be able to, have played in the game. You know what I'm saying? I know people say the coach don't have to play the game to coach the game, but the coach know the game. He's played it before. You ain't ever played it before? You serious? Damn. Ain't no hate for real though. No hate.
It all makes sense now. Oh my gosh. So for the past couple of years, Fresh and Fit, specifically Myron Gain, has gained popularity based off of talking about men, women, and the relationship dynamics between the two. Getting into one, how to maintain one, how to manage one. But it's all come out. And a lot of people had sneaky suspicion that he's never had one, but it's being revealed that he's never really been in one. Never really had a girlfriend. Been solo dolo this whole fucking time.
When you build a family with a woman, should be very selective.
But that's my whole purpose, is to say most women are not necessarily going to be in that position to be worthy of a relationship. So you have to be extremely selective because girls don't come pretty.
It doesn't require.
In my mind, right? How can you, as someone who's never been in a relationship until the one you've gotten in, which you yourself have stated that she's with you because you provide a certain lifestyle, how can you tell who qualifies and who doesn't, right? Do you qualify? I would ask. Clearly not, right? If you did qualify, you probably wouldn't be talking about it, right? You probably would have been in a relationship long before the fact of the new person, the new girl, Angie or whatever her name is. I just feel like it's not worth listening to this dude anymore, right? I never have, but like, in my mind, if you've never been in a relationship, why are you giving advice? I don't get that, man.
You to sleep with 50 women to get to that point.
50 is going to put you in a position to have the correct mindset to assess female character and to understand female nature.
But I think your opinions are based on your experiences and what you've learned throughout your life. And I would push back to say, at least telling men as a general rule that those things are true, I don't think you're doing them justice.
Now look, I don't think you need to be a basketball player to talk basketball. I don't think that you need to be a movie maker to criticize movies. I don't think you specifically have to be in that field to criticize that field, but boy, oh boy.
If you take your fame and clout out of it and the money, you're gonna have super low sexual market value. You could be an ugly nigga and get.
Look, I'm not even gonna say that. Like, you can criticize certain things, right? But to be a dating coach, right? He's called himself that. He's actively going online and been trying to give information out to help people progress, right? That was the whole channel started off the fact that he wanted to help people be better, right? How can you help someone be better if you yourself have never experienced a thing that's gonna make them better? Like, I understand if he's giving credit card and real estate like advice because he owns properties. He probably has dealt with credit before. The idea that you're giving relationship advice as like a dating coach and you've never been in a relationship, that's crazy. Of course you can criticize certain things. Like me, I've been in a relationship for 3 years, right? Even if I wasn't, I could talk about stuff. Even though I'm having outsider's perspective, I can still talk about it. He's not just talking about it. He's giving advice. That's where this whole separation comes in. You're giving advice when you never can participated in that thing. I don't think that's fair, to be honest. I mean, I know he has a lot of loser fans, but damn, if I was one of his fans, I'd be pissy as hell.
Girls, but you have to be extra strict.
Nah, cause you just like me, for real. I ain't never had a girlfriend. You ain't never had a girlfriend. What are we talking about here? You just like me. Why are you giving me advice?
We're bringing girls in your shit. And what do I tell y'all is every time when I talk about influencer bitch? Never get with girls that are influencers.
Spouting that rhetoric as if you were some sort of authority figure, when the whole time you were a lonely Larry, you were a nobody Nancy, you were just a singular individual speaking about these perspectives, invalidates and gives no credibility to literally anything that you've said over the past couple of years. Mind you, this is the same guy who's been talking about Speed, who's been talking about Kai, who's been talking about Young Dabo, who's been talking about everybody's relationship, literally criticizing anytime a famous streamer has been seen with a girl, saying, oh, this doesn't work because this doesn't work because of that, when you just got into a relationship. Now, this isn't some sort of new behavior from Myron, and it's really not a revelation. In fact, it's commonly attributed to a lot of people looking on the outside into the red pill community, is that they just spew negativity and hatred towards relationships. They talk down about women. They say that they can't tolerate them. They're this, that, and the third. But whether it be Myron, Walter, Andrew Tate, or anybody else in this red pill manosphere space, it seems like continuously they spit out this nasty ass rhetoric about dating and relationships and women. But some of the rhetoric leads people to ask these questions like, have you ever talked to a woman before? Have you ever been in a relationship? Have you ever even dealt with a woman on any sort of romantic level at all? And we're not talking about surrounding yourself with a bunch of 304s that you might have got off of, I don't know, a casting call or Craigslist. We're talking about meeting people, having genuine reactions and interactions, and then going past first base. And by first base, I mean exchanging the phone number. Now, as much damage.
So in my mind, right, because I've had relationships with women, because I have friends who are women, I have family who are women. Hell, I grew up, like, I got 3 sisters, I got a mom, and I got a dad too. He in the picture. But I've grown up mostly around women. I got like 4, my mom has like 3 sisters. I got 4, my mom has 3 sisters. I really only have girl cousins, bro. I've grown up mainly around women. So for me, looking in at the red pill space when it first came out, certain things like I could like agree on, like, yeah, sometimes getting a prenup in marriage might be necessary, especially if your partner does not work. You don't want to split your assets for no reason, right? But that's just me looking in on a red pill space. When it gets deeper as the years go on, and you're talking about women don't deserve respect, they don't deserve certain things, all women are whores, I don't think you've actually interacted with women. Right? In my mind, that's where I'm at. I don't think you've ever had a conversation with a woman. There's no way you would have had a conversation with a woman if you believe that all women are whores. And if you do think that, and that's all the women you've met, you're the issue. Why are you only around whores? I'm not. I've never had that issue before. So I don't know, man. It's weird out here, man.
Just Nico's done, he's gone back and kind of rectified and talked about some of the situations that are showing themselves about the red pill community, kind of peeling back that onion or unveiling that curtain about what's really going on.
Red pill ideology is a reaction to feminism, and I think a lot of the guys in the red pill space that are leading the movement, they're not allowed to show vulnerable moments. They're not allowed to say that they fall in love, because then the red pill guys who are all angry are going to be like, that's gay to fall in love.
See, these people are one of 2 things. Either people who have figured out the algorithm, have figured out ways to push these narratives and these lies to get these gender wars going, or get these perpetually nasty ass.
Also, the gender wars are incredibly stupid. If you engage because you think that you are better than the other group or something. Like, every time I see like some stupid shit on Black Twitter, and it's like, oh, as a man, or oh, if your woman does this, I just think like, damn, the CIA won big fucking time. God damn. There's no reason we have to keep engaging in these conversations that are not beneficial at all, right? Maybe it's different if you're just giving advice. But if you're actively going out to hate on the other gender because you disagree with something that they're doing, you're wasting your time, my time, everyone's time, and you're just being stupid. We can all admit that that's stupid. You should just grow the fuck up. That's all it takes.
As takes off in order to get the conversation started for the conversation's sake, in order to divide and then ultimately conquer on some of these male pockets, or they're just straight up grifters. And we can see how fickle this community is when you have literally the people sitting at the top being 2 bumbling idiots who are looking for any way to elongate their dying career that can't be dying fast enough. If one pocket of insult rhetoric doesn't work, then obviously they hop into the next pocket of insult rhetoric and just another place in a space where they can rage bait and get the algorithm going by dunking on a select group of people.
Bro, reparations are for fucking retards, okay? Black people need to just stop being lazy. You need to get your reparations. What you gonna do with it? You'll buy a bunch of some Jordans, some fucking drugs.
This fakeness and willingness to take...
That's stupid. Incredibly stupid. Yeah, I never imagined I'd ever see a black person say something like that. But you know what? I get it, right? Personally, me, because I know how much red pill and like Republican and right-wing influencers make, right? They make a shit ton of money. So I gotta say this, a lot of people are lucky that I have morals. Because y'all saw that Coonan right there? I'd make him look like the biggest punk in the world. I tell you, look, I'm not sure if y'all know who the Hoj twins are. I think that's how you say their name. They had David Duke, Grand Wizard of the 3Ks on their podcast. I'd make them look like punks. I'm telling you, I'd be the biggest coon out. Biggest coon. That's if I didn't have morals.
Take on any sort of agenda can only come from somebody who is so much of a loser that he is willing to participate in conversations and make up scenarios and be hyperbolic about situations in which he's not even experiencing.
I'm not sneaking around in my own house. My girl don't talk back to me. There's no arguments. This is how it is. She packs my fucking condoms when I travel. That's how real it is. She lives a great fucking life and she's a beautiful girl. She's hotter than all the girls here, no offense. If you got a guy that checks off all the boxes, you got to pay the price for that man checking all those boxes. He didn't check all those boxes off to just you.
Think about it. Myron literally has never had a girlfriend besides this one. So where does all this dating and girlfriend rhetoric come from? It comes from the mind of somebody who knows how to push people's buttons and is so...
Yeah, I do think he is just a grifter. But in my mind, if you're with someone who checks all the boxes, more times than not, you also check all their boxes too. Or else you wouldn't be together. There's no way you're getting a 10 out of 10 man and you're not a 10 out of 10 woman. Right? There's no way. Most of the time they gotta be similar. And if they're not similar, then they probably have an agreement of some kind, or they just like each other. I don't know, but more times than not, people are not like just hooking up with people that aren't on the same level. Genuinely. And I'm not saying this to be like rude or nothing, but like if you're not existing in my space, I'm probably not gonna know who you are. And I'm not even saying that like, this is just genuine like advice, right? Not even advice, this is just something that happens in real life. If we're not existing in the same area, right? Like you don't exist in, like I don't live in your neighborhood, you don't live in mine. I don't work with you. I don't like just come across you in the dating atmosphere. I'm probably never gonna meet you or know who you are to have these conversations, right? So there's no way a 10 out of 10 man is going somewhere where there's not 10 out of 10 women because they don't exist in the same space. And that may sound stupid, but that's just my genuine opinion, right? I'm not even saying I'm a 10 out of 10 man. I don't think I am. But like, me, I'm 20, I'm in college. I met my girlfriend in school. Simple as that. I feel like we're in the same area, we in the same space right now, right? For someone else, they may just be on a dating website, they may be on an app, and that's how they meet their girlfriend, because you know, they match together. They have the same interests. They both swipe right and they liked each other, right? You're not going to just stumble across someone who's just so adamantly better than you and they decide to get with you for no reason other than the fact that they like you, right? There's no other reason why they would be there. You're probably on the same level to them in their mind. That's it.
So much of a loser that they would just create a whole lifestyle and identity based off of a fake image. But you know, we got to give him the benefit of the doubt, man. He's just speaking from the perspective of somebody who studied the game, right? You know, we're not saying that you got to be players. You can be observers and still have a takeaway, right?
Let's go into a dream scenario. You wake up, you open up your Instagram, 20 DMs, all bad bitches from different parts of the world. Wow, you're so handsome. What's your name? Where are you from? Hey, I got a boat party later today. Come through. And then you're getting all these offers. You're 19 years old. You just graduated high school. You have no fucking skills. You don't have a job, your parents pay for everything, life is great. That happens for a day, you'll be stoked. Happens for 2 days, you'll be really excited. Happens for a week, you're on top of the world. But what happens when you get this level of attention for a month, 2 months, a year, 3 years? What do you think happens to you as a person? Your personality corrodes. Your ability to critically think evaporates because everything's been given to you. Ladies and gentlemen, I introduce you to the modern woman.
This is his take on modern women. This is his take on the daily life of the modern woman. Is like, this is how she lives.
I'm sorry. I never take people when they talk about, oh, modern women are so different. We have to understand, it's not modern women. It's just like modern times. People are different than how they were 40, 50 years ago. And there's reasons for that, especially in America, seeing as 60, 70 years ago, which is a time that these people, they love to, oh, I need my woman to do this, like how they did back in the day. Women didn't have rights back in the day. I feel like we never talk about this. They were not considered equal to men back in the day. So the men that romanticize this time were women. They were in the house. They were pumping out babies left and right. They were obedient to their man. They didn't have any other choice. They couldn't own a bank account for themselves unless they had their husband's permission. They couldn't file for divorce. There was no such thing as no-fault divorce like there is now. They couldn't file for divorce without reasonable cause, so that they were going to be stuck in these marriages. Also, they didn't have money to file for divorce. They didn't have their own bodily autonomy. Everything was owned by their husband. They didn't have choices. Now, women have choices. So if they're choosing not to mess with you or choosing to do certain things, I'm not going to say it's your fault because, you don't know them. They don't owe you anything. Back in the day, they didn't have a choice. Now they do. You cannot be mad that they have a choice, or else you're probably just a sexist piece of shit. No strays, but fuck. I hate when people talk about modern women like modern men aren't different from the men that we had the time that these people romanticized. We're not going to factories and dying in factories anymore. We're not going to war because we have to go to war, because that's not something we have to do. There's jobs that the jobs, the social atmosphere are just completely different. So I hate when people talk about things like that. It's so fucking stupid.
Lives her day to day every day. Oh, you guys were idiots for listening to him. So this whole time, this experience that he's been depicting only relates to 1% or even less than 1% of the people that populate this earth. And then he decided to go out, dedicate whole platforms in order to spreading this propaganda and ideology for the young folks to just eat up and be even more divisive than they already are on social media based off of niggas like him.
It's easy for you to speak like that on a podcast where, objectively speaking, 2020 hindsight. But when you're in your feelings, your boyfriend pissed you off, you're mad, your girlfriend's in your ear, he's a bitch anyway. Single girls keep girls single. They give them each other the worst advice.
Studies actually show that when women have more sexual partners, it hurts their ability to be in a long-standing marriage. But for men, it has no effect because men are designed to be promiscuous. That's why we make 1 million sperm a day.
So that first clip, I'm not going to say he's right. But there are some women who have friends that do not have their best interest in mind. Right? So if you have a friend like that who's always telling you should leave your man, unless they're speaking objectively and they cheer for you when the good things happen with your man, you should probably leave that friend probably isn't the best for you, right? But I don't know, right? I'm just looking from my experience because I've had female friends. They've always told me I have these friends telling me that this person's not good. And I've told some of my female friends that some of these men are not good. But ultimately, it's up to you. You make your decision. You shouldn't be listening to anybody else that's not existing in your relationship unless something bad is happening.
But with women, they only have a finite amount of time to have a child. They only have a certain amount of eggs. So women are designed to preserve the egg for the best mate.
Also, that's stupid what he's saying. He's saying something stupid.
I said what Ben Shapiro and a lot of these traditional conservatives have wrong is that they think women still operate and behave like it's 1950. But guess what? We don't have religion. We don't have shame. We don't have society telling women not to be hoes anymore. So guys have to adapt to the new normal, even though that advice might have worked 50, 60, 70 years ago, but guys need to adapt.
We've got to figure out a way to stop platforming these people who don't have the life experience that we see ourselves having or strive to having. I think it's very important to respect and empower those who have experience experience these things. And I'm talking about experiencing the outcome, not necessarily the journey. There's too many men that have had sex with women, and there's too many women who have had sex with men to think that these people's opinions are respected or valuable in all these senses. I saw this video on TikTok and I think it summarizes my exact emotions to the T.
I remember one day I was talking to my pops about alpha male gurus and these, toxic podcasts that are leading black people astray in dating and relationships, right? And then I asked him one question that completely dismantled his entire perspective for the most part. I said, would you tell young men who are college age or just out of college to take advice from a black man who's been married 30 plus years, been in corporate America 20 plus years, has made six figures 20 plus years, and is married to a black woman, put one kid through college, and is about to put another kid through college? Or take advice from a 52-year-old podcaster who's been divorced twice and gives advice to women online? And he was speechless.
Look, being a young man, I heard so much about how to utilize my 20s that
I'm not gonna lie, I can't even talk to my dad about the alpha male bullshit because he don't exist on social media. Like, he don't have a Facebook, he don't have an Instagram. He thinks social media is stupid. And honestly, I'm getting to a point where I gotta agree. A lot of people have these stupid fucking echo chambers online where they can say all this stupid shit and they have a following of stupid people who agree with them. I don't understand it. It's so damn stupid. Look, but nah, though, I understand that completely. Like, I'm not listening to Steve Harvey for relationship advice. I'm not. I'd rather listen to my dad, who's been married for how old am I? Like 21 years. I'd rather listen to my grandmother and my grandfather, who were married for 50. Like, I don't see why I would ever listen to someone on the internet about relationship advice when I have people who I know who are in relationships.
Honestly, it got tiring. But what I didn't see was a lot of people that had an outcome that I thought was desirable trying to give me advice. Now, no disrespect to the people in my lives, but I didn't see good careers. I didn't see good relationships with their wives. I didn't see kids that loved them and celebrated their Father's Day. I can remember one time working at a restaurant where I worked on Father's Day, and literally there were a row of dads telling me what I should do with my 20s. I should save up my money, go to the DR and do this, that, and the third, buy this car, have sex with all these women. And I always thought to myself, you're in here on Father's Day by yourself and your kids live in this state. Why are you not with your kids? That's not the outcome for me. And I never want to listen to those types of guys. I find it my mission to look for people who have the outcome that I want to achieve and take advice from them. I think it's just that simple. I'm not taking advice from somebody who is in their, mid-30s, whose first girlfriend was like last year or 2 years ago. That just doesn't make sense to me. If my goal is to create a family, get married, have a successful career, stable business, whatever the case may be, I'm gonna look for somebody who did just that. Not somebody who is in their 30s talking about continuing to smash 3.
I'm not gonna lie, that is kind of crazy. Like, I'm not mad at it, right? If your love gonna find you when it finds you, but you 35, your first girlfriend was a year ago, and you giving people like relationship advice for the past 5 years. You're not a serious individual, right? And I feel like it's just a grift at that point. But hey, shout out Ohmeezzy, right? He's dope as fuck. His videos are always non-biased, and I really do appreciate that. He speaks on the truth. But hey, that's the video. Peace, love, and happiness to all that watch. And I will see you in the next one. Peace.